there. Okay, gotta get my watch started. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this down over here for right now because we won't be needing it quite yet. Take a little sip of my drink, and let's get started. Gotta get my little phone charger out of the way here. All right, so starting out with just a glute kick right here. Again, this is not a long cardio session. It's just a little warm up. And yes, we will get into our stretching too. You're probably like, hello, are we gonna stretch? Most of the cardio stuff right now, it's not gonna be anything super crazy. And we incorporate a little bit of dynamic movements in our cardio warm-ups. So keep those glute kicks going. All right, now turn to the side. We are doing a reverse lunge. Come up and drive that knee. These are really good right here, and I like incorporating them into the warm-ups because not only are you using getting the heart rate up, but you're also using some muscle to not only complete the movement, but also ensure that you're staying stabilized. So reverse lunge, knee drive. Keep it here. Gotta make sure I'm timing it correctly. All right, now switch legs and reverse lunge and drive. Reverse lunge and drive. And next we're gonna go into a squat and then a reach for the ceiling. You got it. Okay, now going into that squat position. So standard squat here, you're gonna come down here and then just reach up. You'll notice that when you start throwing your hands up in different movements, such as here, or if you're doing like a lunge and your hands are above your heart, you'll realize it's a little bit harder. You're really getting that heart rate up. So it may look kind of funky, just reaching up to what, but everything that we do is for a reason. These are super quick workouts, so we want to make sure that we're efficient as possible with everything that we do. Now going into that wide stance for these. You've seen these before. We're going into that wide stance squat and up on our toes. Heel raise. Working calves. And then right after this, we're going to do a little stretch and then do another little cardio movement. And then we're going to get into the workout. Like I said, it's a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie, with our foam roller. And even if you don't have a foam roller at home, if you have something that you can at least rest your feet on, such as if you have like a washcloth, and if you're on a hard surface, it'll slide. So any type of material that can slide, that will be perfect. All right, now getting into that stretch. Stretching the arms. Not doing a ton of upper body today, but it's still good to stretch it out. Reach up to the sky. Last stretch. This one feels really good, leaning side to side, especially if you work at like a desk. Just being able to stretch your lats, because a lot of times, even if you're someone who has good posture, naturally you'll often find yourself just being like this. At least I do throughout the workday, which is not always for the best. Now reach to the side, stretch your legs to the middle. To the side. Nice. And a little quad stretch. We'll be doing quads. We'll be doing hamstrings, calves, a little bit of everything today. And then pike stretch next. Just bend over. Hug your elbows, straight side to side. Beautiful. Get into a butterfly. A little butterfly right here. Okay, perfect. Now, this is the cardio movement I was talking about. You're going to get into a high plank for anyone following along with this exercise. And you're just going to do some plank jacks right here. We're not here for long, only about 20 seconds. And then we're going to grab our foam roller. And again, if you don't have a foam roller, that's fine. Grab a washcloth or anything that can slide on the surface that you're on if you're joining in with the workout. Obviously not required. Okay, now Here we go. So you're going to place your foam roller on the ground, and you are going to place your feet on top of the foam roller. Okay, so back is flat. Let me scoot back so you can see me. Back is flat. And here, I typically put my arms right beside me. Work your feet down, and you're just going to do some hamstring curls as far out as you can go. And really make sure that you're keeping your chest or your abs squeezed so that your chest isn't falling. You don't want that to move. You will really, really feel these in your hamstrings. And if you need to readjust, simply just walk your feet up, and we'll do some little pulses right here. You may notice that if you're not wearing socks or you are wearing socks like me, you'll slowly be getting that foam roller away from you, and you'll almost feel like you don't have much of a grip on it. So just walk it back, step on it, and walk it back. Wow, 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 I'm really feeling this. Squeeze those abs. All right. Now, getting that foam roller, different use right now. Feet straight up in the air, and just pulse. Pulse it up. And again, if you don't have a foam roller, whatever you have next to you. Pulse it up. And now, we're going to keep our foam roller or object in the air. Drop the legs. Bring them up. Drop the legs. Bring them up. One at a time. Back goes to the floor. Hands stay up in the air. We're almost out of this part. And then we're going into some lunges. All right, now drop the object. And then for here, since I'm going to record real fast, your feet are your legs are in a 90-degree angle. And all you're doing is just dropping, same thing, and bringing it back here. Your head is staying raised, so the top part of your back is off the floor ever so slightly. Drop your legs, squeeze, drop down, and squeeze. Awesome, awesome. We're almost there. Now, legs straight up and squeezing to meet your knees. Down and up. This is our last movement in center core, and then we're going into those lunges that I mentioned. One more. Amazing. Now, getting back up, putting our foam roller directly behind us. And if you don't have one, again, you can either just do a reverse lunge or find something that you're able to somewhat replicate this movement on. So for this, we're just going to be going down into a reverse lunge. So our feet are facing to the sky or the ceiling. And when you're going back into that lunge, making sure that you're keeping a good form, paying attention that your knee isn't shooting too far over your toe, and your back foot is just sliding down. So your shin should be going over that foam roller if you're working with one to complete that lunge. It's not so much like a downward lunge, it's almost like you're going down a slope and pushing yourself diagonal. And the other side, same exact thing, same movement. That obviously did not work very well because my foot was not on it. So there you go, there. Same movement. It's a very short foam roller. I always think it's much longer than it actually is. Almost there. And these are pretty short workouts, usually ranging between 25, sometimes 20 if we're just focusing on cardio, 25 and 35 minutes. So we don't have a lot of repeats. If you need to catch on to something, you can always come back to it. Losing the foam roller back here. But that's something that does make it a little bit more fun, that we are not repeating anything. Okay, see, look how small this is. Usually I feel like foam rollers are right here. So I'll be doing these and I'll just be like, where did the roller go? Okay, now we're going to grab our dumbbells if you have some. Place these on your shoulders, and we're just going to do good morning. So if you've seen these before with a barbell or Smith machine, just dropping forward, almost like an RDL. So there's only a slight bend in your knees, nothing crazy at all. And just tilting forward. Keeping your spine neutral as you drop your chest, really feeling that in your glutes and in your hamstrings. Squeezing as you come to the top. When you feel that tension at the point that you're going down, you're like, okay, I feel it. That's the point where you can stop. It's not a competition for how far you can go down. Well, it is a competition, you against you, but not compared to anyone else. So if you can go farther, great. If not, do where you feel it. One more here. Awesome. Now, slight step out and squats. Standard squats right here. Standard squats with a slight angle of our feet. So they're just beyond shoulder width apart, like half an inch outside of shoulder width. I know we said no repeats, but we're going to do a similar movement. Dropping your weights, dropping them down to your hands. And like I said, that RDL. So do you see how it's a little bit different in the movement here? It's almost like you can go a little bit farther because you do have more of a bend in those knees. Now, if you want to focus more so on glutes for these, more bend in your knees as you're coming down. If you want to focus more so on hamstrings, keep your legs a little straighter. Beautiful. Same thing. 2 more. Amazing. And now for anyone who does not have any weights, we'll first grab a drink of water. If you don't have any weights, you're in luck because this next movement, you don't need any weights for it. All right, so for these, it'll be a single leg RDL. So the leg that we have down on the ground, that's going to be where a lot of our weight is going into, making sure that you're stabilizing yourself. You'll do this by squaring your hips to whatever direction you're facing. Not letting your hips go outward, not letting your leg fly anywhere. Keeping it all very squared. So right here, keeping that balance all throughout this leg right here. If you still feel like you can't really nail down that stabilization, that's okay. Just move to 2 legs and do an RDL here. And you'll work your way up. I'm not gonna lie, these definitely are difficult. You really have to go slow with it. Keep it controlled. Same thing as I said previously, it's not a competition to how far you can go down. It's how far you go until you feel that tension. And when you feel like your hips are starting to shift, that's when you come up, because we don't want to sacrifice our form in order to reach a certain level or reach a certain weight. That's not how you grow. That's not how you get better. You want to perfect and then increase. Same thing on the other side. This is definitely my not a strong leg, my right side. My balance is not as great. And I'm not as flexible, which is kind of crazy because I'm right-handed. Slow and controlled. 2 more. Amazing. Okay, so we're going back down to the ground to do a little bit more core, and then we'll do some lower body on the ground as well. So starting on the ground right here, kind of similar to what we were doing earlier, we're gonna have our feet in a 90-degree angle right here and coming up side to side like a wood chop crunch with elevated feet, back and to the side. And again, don't focus so much on flinging yourself because we really want to feel it in our core. You want to kind of have the shakes as you're doing this. Really working against it. You can still do a solid workout without any equipment. Just got to do the right movements. And one more here. Perfect. Now for these reverse crunches. So hands on our side to help stabilize us. For these, we're coming back here, squeezing, and then coming back down. So your booty barely lifts off the ground. But again, keeping that tension in your core tight as you squeeze up to hold yourself before coming back down. So up, almost as if we're going to do a backwards roll, but not exactly going all the way up. So your whole spine is staying glued, but it's just that very bottom tip that kind of lifts up. And squeeze at the top. Squeeze at the top. Beautiful. Now, coming up here, using your back hands to stabilize you. All right? Feet out in front of you and come in. And as you're coming in, you're going to ever so slightly bend your knees and split them apart from each other. You see how I have them here? So not all the way. We've done these before, like a clamshell crunch, but for these, it's a little bit less. So out, and then coming back in. Out, coming back in. Perfect. Now, on our side, we're almost there. We have our hands up in the air, coming down to twist. Same thing on the other side, and then we're going back into the lower body. We're over halfway there. So close. Let's see. I can tell you exactly how much. Over halfway there. Like I said, we only have about 8 minutes left. Up and twist. 8 minutes left, and at the very end, we'll be doing a quick cool down and a light stretch. All right, flip to the other side. So we're coming up here again and twist. Almost there. All right, now grab your foam roller or whatever you want to use for this. You can also do it completely body weight, same exact movement. So putting one leg here, like I said, the rest from here is all floor work, so you don't have to stand up for anything else. So we have a slight single leg kneeling squat, coming down here, pushing out, coming back in. It's a very small movement. You're pushing your booty back, but keeping your chest up for the most part. Keeping that gaze forward and really feeling that in our glutes. And also in our abductors. As we push ourselves out to squeeze to come back in. Keeping it controlled and level. Beautiful. And switch to the other side too. And again, if you do not have a foam roller at home and you want to try these out, you can do them same exact thing. You'll just do them without this. All this does is just puts us at a slight elevation. And that is all we're doing. Everything else is the exact same. Push back and come up. Amazing. We're almost there. Awesome, awesome job. One more right here. Sweet. Now push that out of the way. And we're doing the exact same thing, but both legs on the ground. So push back and come up. So you're almost creating a triangle behind you with your legs, spreading your knees, keeping your feet right together. Push back and come up. Two more here. Push back, come up. Push back and come up. Now, keep it going from right here. Keep it low. Staying in a low squat. You can use your arms if you need some help. Moving you up and down. Keep it going. These are tough. And like I said at the very beginning of this, if you heard me, if you have your hands on your head or above your heart, you'll notice your heart rate automatically is like, ooh, what is going on here? It's a little challenge if you want to try it. You can also try putting in a pulse right here. You will really feel it in your quads. Okay, 3 more. 1, 2, 3. All right. And now we're going to go back to that cool down that I mentioned. So for these, we're going to be in a slight lower squat. It's like a medium squat. So you're not all the way down here. It's more so right here. Walking back and forth. Just finishing out that little burnout as we're cooling it down. And then we'll be doing another wide squat to a heel raise. These are also really good if you have a band. You can wrap a resistance band around your ankles or slightly above your ankles. Really good little side-to-side workout. Okay, so get into that wide stand squat. Down, come up, heel, raise. Down, heel, raise. What was that? What's that noise? I hope no one can hear the noise of my ankles popping. They pop. It's a normal thing. Like, it's not like anything's wrong. Ever since I was little, though, I remember I'd be like walking or like I'd be like skipping because I did cheer, and my ankles would just like start popping. And I was like, what is going on here? So weird. See? I don't know. All right, now feet together. Same thing, except do you hear that popping? It's kind of scary. But yeah, I've had it forever. I've just never really paid attention to it. Because normally when I work out, there's like music in the background, you know? Or I'm like listening to something. But right now it's quiet. So all I hear is my little ankle pops. But these heel raises, calf raises, they don't look bad until you do like 10. You're like, oh, I kind of feel it. After like 40, 50, your calves start burning. Let's finish out here. Okay, there we go. Now go back into that quad stretch since we had quite a bit of quads today. For anyone who joined along, or if you got some ideas from this, hopefully you'll get a chance to actually try this workout out for yourself. Coming around, bending to one leg, straight to the middle, the other leg, hold, back to the middle, hold. Now sliding in to that runner's lunge, knee to nose. I guess it'd be more like nose to knee. Stretch it out here. Same thing, switch it up. Nose to knee. Perfect. Now butterfly stretch. I'm sweating a lot more than I should be, but this room is hot. I say it every time, I'm like, there's no ceiling fan. So when you close the door and then there's windows right in front of you, it gets pretty hot. But it's like a free sauna, I guess you could say. All right, amazing job for everyone that joined in on their workout today. I appreciate you being here and hope you got a chance to either one, join in, two, at least learn something, and you'll have a chance to do a workout on your own for next time. But every Monday and Thursday, okay, this Monday, I was not here because this week has been crazy, like what I was saying at the beginning. So typically it's every Monday and every Thursday. Some weeks going to be a little crazy, but we always do it around 5:55, 6, depending on what time I get off work. And the workouts are typically 20 minutes for cardio, which usually we always do a little baby burst of cardio at the very beginning of everything. But for a cardio only workout, those are typically like 15, 20 minutes long. And then for leg day, arm day, those are anywhere between like 25 to 35 minutes. Today was, and that's with the cool down, warm up, everything. Today was 25, but sometimes they definitely feel a lot longer. But hopefully you'll be able to join in for next time. We'll be back on Monday. Maybe we'll do a Wednesday, throw a Wednesday or Thursday in there, but whenever you're able to make it. And then occasionally if you want to do a weekday or weekend workout, we can do a weekend workout too. But most of the time, you don't even need equipment. So you can just show up and join in, or you can just get some ideas for the time that you work out on your own. Everything will always be at home. We will rarely do like any gym workouts. Occasionally, like maybe one day we'll post up in the gym and do a live gym workout until someone walks in, then it's just a little awkward. But until then, we'll be staying in the room and keeping it to the at-home workouts. So thank you again for joining, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and